Howdy, folks. This is just a reminder that if you like this content, you can help me out by liking, commenting, and especially by subscribing. And be sure to hit the bell notification so you always get notified whenever I have a new video. Hope you enjoy this.
I want to preface, Jimmy, just with my question. I'm not trying to trick or trap you here. I'm just trying to be honest. My question is kind of a two-parter. Is it true that receiving the Eucharist is necessary for salvation? And if so, would it therefore logically follow that Protestants and evangelicals who don't have the Eucharist fall outside of that? And would that not contradict some of what, like Vatican II has said about someone, being baptized, being a Christian, even though it's outside of the church? Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. So this question has been coming up a lot lately. And so for everyone who's had this question, listen up, because here's the answer. Jesus clearly teaches in John 6 that if you don't eat his flesh and drink his blood, you have no life in you. However, the church has also, that clearly doesn't apply to everybody, because it didn't apply to the Jews who lived before the time of Christ. They can get into heaven and they didn't receive the Eucharist. Similarly, Jews living in other parts of the Roman Empire before the Christian message got to them, they could be saved and they didn't receive the body and blood of Christ even after the time of Christ because the gospel hadn't reached them yet. And the Catholic Church has clarified, particularly at Vatican II, that those who, through no fault of their own, are not Christian or not Catholic can be saved as long as, under the influence of God's grace, they otherwise live up to the degree of light and grace that they have received, whatever level that may be. So it is possible for people who are Protestant or even non-Christian, through no fault of their own, to be saved. So the way we want to understand the normativity of receiving the Eucharist is not as an absolute necessity, but as a normative necessity. It's something that is the normal way that it is a normal way that we receive salvation, the same way faith in Christ is, and the same way baptism is. And so this just goes into the same category as the other things that we need to do for salvation. We need to have faith in Christ. We need to be baptized. We need to receive the Eucharist. But all of those are normative necessities, not absolute necessities. And so if a person is not able to do one of those things through no fault of their own, then God knows they're not at fault and he's not going to hold them accountable for it. So that's the answer, and I hope that helps all the folks who have been asking this question lately, because I'm tired of answering it.
And that's what happens. We get these waves of the same question. And thank you very much for the question indeed, but it's just interesting. And sometimes I wonder if it's related to things that are being posted online, and sometimes it's just it's occurring to a lot of people at the same time. But thank you for the call. Thank you for the question.
Yeah.
The numbers.
Thank you for letting me answer it and getting it out of the way. And before we go, just one more reminder that if you like what you've watched, you can help me out by liking, commenting, and especially by subscribing. I'm trying to grow my channel and I'd really appreciate your help. Thank you, and God bless you.